Recorded live from a not-so-secret suite-level studio.
I'm the capo. He's the prez.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Devin and Adam, an illustrious guest inside the suite. Welcome back to number... This is only one person's number. Yes. I know you guys were like, no. This is Reggie White, number 92.
Okay, so let's go back to this is the part where I want Devin to have more free time in his life so he could cut the part of last week's pod where he also agreed it was Rick Tocchet.
Yes.
And then splice it into this pod. But I'm gonna not make him work that hard.
Thank you.
You're a liar.
If this was about illegal gambling with Wayne Gretzky's wife, then yeah, it could be Rick Tocchet.
That is a very specific reference.
Reggie White.
Yes.
Reggie White, Minister of Defense,
okay.
Man of God. You're going to argue with God that this shouldn't be Reggie White?
Often.
Okay. All right. Just saying. Reggie White, thank you. Rest in peace.
You know
what? When Rick Tockett's dead, 92 will be his. Until then,
look, Reggie I just want to have a good Flyers memory, please. Can I have one? Just one.
Eric Lindros, Scott Stevenson. No, that's not a good memory either. Sorry about that. All right, let's get to some housekeeping. So we've got beers of the pod, and the beers are aplenty. We have yards here.
Yes.
Oh, there is a 2SP in there.
Is there?
There's not a Flying Fish yet. There will be. There is one of the Heineken members in that bag, and we do have the Spellbound. The only thing we're missing is the Twisted Tea. We have a hodgepodge of beers, so
there's only three of us.
If this pod goes downhill for any reason, it's because of the beers of the pod.
We all have to go home after this, Matt. This is a terrible idea on your hand.
I don't know about you, but I sleep next to Hulky under the bridge.
I set up a cot and trailer, so I'm good.
Yeah, we good. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm both concerned for your relationships.
Yeah. So that probably saves our relationships. That we leave this pod and we sleep elsewhere. It probably is a builder. Not to take our away.
Everyone has their own path.
All right, everybody, just remember to renew. Renewals have been good. Fast and Furious, new members. It's been good, and the kits are packed and ready to go. So if you're sitting here going, "Where's mine?" It's on its way. You can only blame the U.S. Post Office now. But yeah, we've gotten that done.
John Light putting in the hours this week.
John Light finally earning his Impact Wrestling tickets. Finally, so yeah, so we got that all out, and
we're not using
Mike Kettleberg for.
Are we still using the child labor of Camden Catholic?
Whoa, man, that's such a bad joke. Jeez. No, listen.
Is it?
Those kids got to use some of their volunteer hours, and they helped out with that because I tell you what.
No, I would do that in a heartbeat. Back in Upper Marion, I would have done that in a heartbeat.
During this whole pandemic, like we used to do kit parties and everything. We couldn't all get together, so all of a sudden we're like, wait, there's a control group that needs volunteer hours? Sure. So yeah, thanks to Mike and those kids for coming out and packing the kits, and then John getting everything ready and mailed. If you don't have it, you'll have it soon. Now, thinking of soon.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't wait. Philadelphia. www.philadelphia2026.com. We're going to hear soon that we're getting the World Cup.
What is soon?
I don't know. According to FIFA, last quarter. But according to what I'm told April is supposed to be the announcement.
So like a week from now, 2 weeks from now.
Well,
from when this podcast is recorded.
April. So let's say April 1st is 2 weeks from now. So anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, we should know if we're celebrating the streets or if this is just going to be a 10-second rant every pod that we didn't get the World Cup.
If it's between the 19th and the 21st, I might miss it.
Oh, 420 day?
That just might pass me by for some particular reason.
You know how I bum out everybody that loves 420 day?
Because you tell them it's Hitler's birthday?
It's Hitler's birthday, yeah.
It doesn't bother me one bit.
Sorry. Crushing my buzz, bro. You're crushing my buzz.
Look, everyone's got to be born a day. I'm sure someone terrible was born on my birthday. It doesn't mean I'm not going to celebrate
it. Well, yeah, we should.
Whoa, damn. Wow. Top rope. Couldn't even find like a Genghis Khan reference or anything here. Just me.
Now, speaking of terrible takes, Devin, Discord. How's Discord going? Are we getting complaints?
That was a good transition.
The complaints are flowing. Yes, as always. No, Discord's great. That's all I've got.
Great. Well, speaking of all you got,
you're like a sports broadcaster in a small town. Yeah, they won. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was good.
Thanks for coming.
That was like, holy moly, Discord's great.
Yep.
All the content that you listen for.
And the squash team won 3-2. Okay, that's it. Literally all I got.
Now, save the date. We got Nashville May 1st. We just did the ticket and tailgate and bus tickets are out there. Adam's going to be running Broad Street. We're going to be on the street rooting him on. And we've got a lot of other travel that's booked on the site already and even thinking about some other trips. And speaking of trips, holy crap, guys, Saturday. And Adam, you kind of made this. We road trip to New York City. We went up to the house that Jeter built.
You know, I was looking forward to this one. I'm not much of a traveler. I haven't gone any further than DC before, to be honest with you. I want to change that in my future, but I've also taken on 3 jobs, and that's probably made this a little bit more difficult in my life. But I always want to make it up to New York when I can, and particularly to that Yankee Stadium experience. And I got to be real with you. My times in Yankee Stadium have not been that fun, mainly because it's just a very terrible venue to watch soccer, but also the Union haven't played particularly well in that venue for various reasons. But to go up there with a very strong contingent of very
over 100,
and to say this, there are some times that we'll go up there and the crowd's like, we're happy to be here. It's a nice Sunday night to be out. We're all just going to kind of hang out a little bit.
I'm here to see the stadium.
Right. Like we're on a road trip. We're going to go if they're down we're going to see Ben's Chili Bowl after this and all that shit.
Right.
But authentically, everyone who came to New York that day was ready to raise hell, did raise hell. And it was just a really fun experience from start to finish. It was an ideal away day, and to get the goals early. It was beautiful.
And we'll get into the game, but we'll talk about the trip now. Again, thanks, Mike Blankenmeyer. Great job. That was his first road trip.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
And I just went, hey, you're undefeated. You ain't fired yet.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
Crushed
Everybody, I heard, great trip. Like I said, we had about 100 plus. And what was Yankee Stadium? 10,000?
That was really bad.
That
was really bad.
You're the defending champions. Yeah. And I'm watching on my laptop, and my dad's joking, what's bigger, your laptop screen or the pitch? I'm going, it's probably equal right about now. But I'm watching, that game on my laptop because I was in New Orleans for work, and I'm just kind of scanning the crowd. And the other thing I couldn't find, that banner.
I mean,
is it like Waldo?
I'm going to be real with you. And I saw this banner and we're hypothetically right behind home plate, roughly just right to the right of it.
Yeah.
So if we're watching,
that's the first base line in baseball speak.
Well, I know, but we're not that far up it. We're still kind of parallel, but we're on the first base side of it. We're on the right side of it.
For a baseball ticket?
Yeah.
It's a
beautiful baseball ticket. It's a really good baseball
for
ticket. For
soccer, sucks.
But here's the thing. Offensively, from that very good ticket that I had, I could tell you where the banner was. I could not make out a single thing on this. I mean this with no hyperbole. I'm not trying to make a joke about it. I'm not being like, it's New York. I authentically could not tell that was a banner that a team of a championship would hold. It is in every conceivable way embarrassing. And the thing about it that makes it really the piece de resistance of all of it is the explanations that were given to us but it's the same size as the Yankees banner. I was like, okay, so when NYCFC wins 27 of them, then it makes sense when you make them tiny because, goddamn, you already know what they all are. When you have one and it's not like it's blocking anyone's particular view at the game. You can just warden off those 12 seats and let it hang a little bit.
I was told it had to fit the railing of the owner's suite.
I'm going to tell you this right now. The Yankees are the dumbest organization in the history of mankind. I still say this because the fact that they make those people still shave off their fucking beards for no reason other than tradition and weirdness. I get it. It's the Yankee way. Dude, you play in a bandbox in the Bronx, all right? This thing is this big. It's got 14 sight lines that are good. You actually have to pay astronomical amounts of money to actually see it well, but that's fine. That's fine. I get it. Capitalism's a motherfucker. I understand all of this. But at its core, if you tell me for a half a second, Yankees group, that you care at all about the soccer team, that you have 20% of ownership in, you at least let them have something that resembles dignity.
No.
And what that is not dignity.
You
You're
can't-
making a mockery of the league when you get the Philadelphia Wings have a bigger banner in the Wells Fargo Center actively than the Yankees have for NYCFC. The Villanova basketball that doesn't only play there 3 times a year has 2 championship banners
In the Wells Fargo.
hanging in the Wells Fargo Center, bigger than the title for the top flight soccer club in the biggest metropolitan area in North America outside of Mexico City.
We talk about MLS, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, that we think we're in 3.0. And we will tell you this. We are going to have Uncle Don on this pod. We're working on this.
He's got to be embarrassed.
We will
He has
talk
to be
about
embarrassed.
MLS 4.0, but in my opinion, 4.0 is how you get these major cities right it. Because these other cities, the Atlantas of the world,
LA's
the
fine.
Nashvilles, but
LA
LA's
holds 2 teams that figured it out.
Right, but LA's not a major sports city.
No, but they got 12 million people in there.
Well, I'm just saying the New Yorks,
and
the Bostons.
Look, they care about the
Right.
Dodgers. They care about the Lakers.
I'm
Everything
talking
else is
the
bullshit.
New Yorks, the
you know?
Bostons,
No, but
the Philadelphias, the Chicagos.
But we
like
know
that.
what fixes Boston. Put them in Boston.
Well,
Put them in Boston.
Yeah.
Boston
I'm
solved.
just saying, New York, there's problems. So that's 4.0.
They're
We will
they're
have that.
in the
We will have
Bronx.
that talk. We will have that. No, they're not in their own stadium,
But like it's
and they have
look,
Red Bull too.
Look. This is what I'm saying. This is the thing that baffles me. Neither Red Bull Arena nor Yankee Stadium are far from transportation, population, soccer-loving individuals. Populate both of those metropolitan areas, whether you call it Newark, Jersey City, or the city of New York, and you can't get more than 15,000 to 20,000 people on a beautiful day in the Bronx on a Saturday.
No,
A
not when they're going to
gorgeous
lose
day.
Dos Acero. Now, if Adam's sounding like he's cutting a promo for wrestling, it's because he was inspired by Impact Wrestling, invited the Sons of Ben. Friday, Saturday.
I missed those tickets.
I didn't.
Transition.
I was gone. I was out of town, so I know John Light and other people were. I didn't really get any reports yet. I'm imagining it was probably a blast.
Rich seemed like he had a lot of fun.
See, I didn't get a lot of social media time this weekend because I was working, and I don't really try to follow Rich Ransom. No, I'm just kidding. I love Rich. But yeah, it looked like it sounded like it was a good time. I wish I was there. I would have had a blast because it was in the old ECW arena. Devin, ECW was this really extreme championship wrestling.
Thank
No,
you.
it was. It looked like a good time, and we talked to them, and next time they're in Philly, they want to run it back and have more Sons of Ben and more wrestling. And I'm just trying to think maybe we can do the steel cage match of Adam Kahn versus Adam Booth, the battles of the booths.
I mean,
Or the
battles of the
battles
Adams.
of the Adams.
I mean,
yeah.
if he has Booth at his last name,
Yeah.
we should talk. He might be a cousin of mine.
Yeah.
I have a very interesting lineage.
But the
I gotta
battle of
tell you.
the Adam or the battle of Eve, Adam versus Adam. That's
All
what we
right.
can. Yeah.
I mean, you're just getting.
Yeah.
We can figure this out. Yeah.
Is that the mustiest reference he's ever made? Because I mean, biblical.
Oh, that's biblical.
Is pretty,
That's some
pretty
biblical on
Old
you.
damn Testament is where we go with
When
that
you
one.
think of Sons of the Ben the pod, you think of biblical,
Like, right.
religious.
Well, if you're
that's-
Jeffrey Mitchell, you
these are
know.
really the.
We're basically a podcast for Liberty University. I don't know what you're talking about.
Our number one union pod troll, yeah, Jeffrey Mitchell thinks biblical.
Jeffrey Mitchell is the perfect Catholic because he's so nice that he just rails on you in person. Like he actually will just dunk on you mercilessly at any opportunity.
He does that
Hi,
because
Jeff.
there's this thing called confession, so he can
Yeah, he can
sin,
get away with it.
and then he's right in there.
like,
Yeah,
"Look,
I'm so sorry.
I made a couple people cry on Twitter the other day. I apologize for that. I'm good, right? We good? Peace. All right, I'll see you next week.
So yeah, the last bit of Sons of Ben news. Devin, are you ready? April 2nd.
I'm ready.
Next
I am more than
tailgate,
ready.
we got Charlotte coming in, who fresh off a big win. They got a dubs. They're hot. They're one of those hot teams of the league.
Have we done a Charlotte talk on the pod yet?
No, and we're
Blue
not going
Arsenal?
to.
Have we done that yet?
What-
What's your opinion on the way Charlotte's been going?
It's been a minute. I ain't got no opinion.
Okay. Look, the almost perfect way to come into the league. I would have rather you've built your own stadium by now.
Yes,
like
of
this
course.
is the thing. The teams know ahead of time now. Like there should be enough planning St. Louis is doing it. You know, Austin was basically like it took Austin 5 minutes. Their stadium was built.
But look at what Atlanta's done.
No, but
Atlanta's the
different.
exception, not the rule.
Why can't Charlotte be Atlanta?
Because here's the problem. Atlanta was always going to be a subsidiary of basically the Falcons.
Yes.
Right? Because of just the way that Arthur Blank
Do you
put that
think
together.
Charlotte's going to average over 40,000?
They're not going to get there with that.
You never know what's going to happen in 5
Charlotte-
years. If
Charlotte
they
needs
do some things, you know,
I would
don't
give
know.
Charlotte a 35,000 seat arena, and also they fill it because they fit the Adam Booth rule of where MLS can be successful is you don't have 4 professional sports teams that exist there already.
And they're a transient town, so
They
people
are a
can glom onto
transient
it.
town. There's a lot of new people in Charlotte that weren't there 30 years ago.
So that's our
it.
but
That's perfect.
to drum up Charlotte, should be a fun time. April 2nd.
Pancake Poppy's going to be there. I miss them.
We should have some new tailgate items, new food items. Twisted Tea should be on tap. It's going to be pretty interesting. And I heard Twisted Tea is Paul Howard's favorite tea.
Oh man,
We'll have to find out if that's true. Being a proper
can
Brit.
we get him to shotgun a Twisted Tea?
Well, not if it's on tap. You can't shotgun taps.
That's fine. We got cans.
We can
cans.
yeah,
They're accessible.
We can
we can give them a Twisted Tea bong, though.
like a beer bong, a tea bong. Is that like tea bagging?
Oh, that's the type of bong you were talking about.
You want to tea bag Paul Howard? I don't know about this.
Mine
It's a
had-
family pod,
mine
my
was
friend.
more gravity-based, but
oh,
okay,
yeah. Woo! Let's get into the union news. We get away from this before the FCC or someone shuts us down.
Really?
Yeah.
By 3 motherfuckers. Sorry, 4 motherfuckers. Sorry,
Listen.
5.
Speaking of mother fathers, New York City.
Ah,
All right. Here's the first thing I'm going to say about this New York City game.
please.
VAR. What a wonderful invention.
I mean, all right, yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, but could you just? I mean, like, I people told me at home the third goal was offsides, but I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I could have really taken that
I'm
third
just
goal.
glad Jack wasn't set the hell off for some bullshit.
It was, and like because like it was a very for me sitting there as a person who's again, I mean, none of us have seen a win at Yankee Stadium, but like I've been on maybe 12 to 13 road games. I've seen 3 wins. So I'm not very used to seeing dubs when it comes to these trips. So I'm thinking it's very, here we go again. Union take a lead, and then we get a red card in an obvious situation where
Something
NYC
out of your control happens.
And
NYC is
against-
obviously going to take advantage of this.
And against the
Duh.
center back, which was the key for us beating them, was keeping both center backs there because they
Exactly.
were
Like,
clogging the middle
and
up.
I'm not even sure Stuart Findlay was in the 18. So if you wanted to do anything interesting about that, I'm not even sure you could have done anything about that. You'd probably have to bring in like Matt Real to play center back or some shit. Anyway, moral of the story is I don't know what it takes to send someone off for diving. He got close.
Oh.
That was such because even from where we were in our shitty sight lines on the other end of the stadium, we were like, "There's zero way that he was brought down."
Jack
by him.
definitely extended his arm towards him, and I mean,
Visually, but
there was probably a tad of a push.
He was already
but it was not
falling
enough
from avoiding
exactly.
Blake.
He was already
was gonna hit
probably
the
going
ground.
down.
did you watch Barcelona Real Madrid?
I did not.
Did you watch Barcelona Real Madrid?
No, I was working this weekend. Sorry.
Okay, so Vinicius Jr. was about to who fell down in the box. And let me say, we can tell you that no one in the world touched him. Like the way that you can see, like my thought to myself is like, VAR exists, television cameras exist. Why are people still diving like this? Like, why do people think? What is the successful percentage of these people doing this?
See, I think the
And
problem is
they don't get penalized for doing
exactly.
it. So
He
you're
got a
going to
yellow
try.
card for this. He not only was
Well-
the call reversed, he also got a yellow card for diving. I'm saying, why? What is the purpose of diving?
Okay.
Like, what
If you're a team,
how
if you're a
successful do
team
you
that's
think
up
it is?
2-0, what are
Yes.
you willing to do to hold that lead? You're willing to do anything that you
Yes.
need to do to win.
Yes.
Okay. Just the fact of the matter is that this is the way soccer is, and it's the way that the.
But are you going to dive in the box up to nothing to preserve your lead?
That was I think that is an outlier a little bit.
Like
but
he's,
I
he's
think
diving in the box down 1-0, trying to get the penalty.
No,
I
he's still
get
talking
it, but
about
it's a very-
Barcelona, folks. He's not talking about the New York
Oh.
City game.
Are
Just
you
making
talking
sure.
I was
about-
talking about. Are you talking about Barcelona?
No.
I was talking about New York City. I was still
yeah, I was
talking
talking
about.
about
I was also talking about New
Well,
York City.
we weren't up to nothing. Then.
No, I'm saying eventually we were up 1-0
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, right.
And they were trying. I honestly understand why the player is trying to draw the foul there.
Right.
But when it's that obvious, you know if you're going to go down in that moment. Yes, they got called a red card, and immediately someone was just like, "Dude, go look at that."
All right,
Well,
I'm done
do go
trying to
look
play
at that.
devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was a.
Adam.
I mean, it was just- it was just
I
like-
think
it
it's
was
in,
pretty-
as a player, it's your nature to try to get a penalty, and you're just going to do
That's
it.
why I
and
was a
then you
bad
figure
soccer
it
player.
out.
I never
But
went down like that.
Yeah.
I was not a good soccer player because
Well,
I
listen.
kept staying on my feet.
All I know is VAR was on our side. That was great.
Worked out. That was great.
You know, and to start the game, the captain. I'm just going to say this right now. Captain Morgan is a sponsor of the union. How the living F isn't Alejandro Bedoya on the bottle?
That's a very fair
How does
question.
that not happen?
Because
Like,
MLS
seriously.
hates us.
Like,
Because they don't advertise us in
Alejandro
anything.
Bedoya should be on that bottle of every bottle that is served inside Subaru Park. Period. End of story. Tim McDermott, get on it, or we'll get someone to get on it for you. No.
He's inspired by
yeah,
LeBron
there should be-
and
I mean,
Tom
Bros,
Brady.
we might need a Captain Morgan tifo. Captain Morgan, email me at matt.kandesic@sonsofben.com, and we'll talk about finances. But we
why
will,
aren't they at the tailgate?
I know. Oh, yeah, there's a
Well.
reason. There's a goddamn
Yeah.
good reason that we don't have Captain Morgan at the tailgate.
We got 3 hours of a tailgate.
We don't
It's
need
a lot of
zombies in the
time to
river
drink a
end. We
lot.
need
Look,
rowdy people.
I've had way too much Fireball in this river end, and I need us to replace that with something.
We're taking that away from you too. Don't you worry.
That's
Now,
fair.
speaking of things that you heard here on this pod first, this pod was pro Daniel Gazdag from the jump,
Oh, yeah.
and we told you, just wait. He's got
you
He's
wait.
got to get adjusted to the MLS. Got to get adjusted to being over here. And what has he done? He hangs 3 in 3 games. Am I correct? Not
Beautiful.
correct. I mean, Daniel Gazdag, and he might have my favorite. Now we'll debate this. I'm saying GIF. You guys are saying GIF. I don't know, but
I'm in Team Jif.
It's a
GIF?
GIF. No, like literally the creator of it
Well-
calls it a GIF, so it's a GIF.
is that not the greatest GIF that I've ever seen when he
It's a
told
good GIF.
somebody to say, "Shut the fuck up"?
No, it's
That is
second to when Martinez basically did that in Spanish, but used his arm basically as like a maestro stick in
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta, where he's like, "All you're doing is talking," and like everyone knows the exact GIF I'm talking about. It's just like, "All you're doing is talking," and I'm over it. Like I
the
love
the,
that
the the only other time I ever heard somebody say "shut the fuck up" was Sebastian Latou to Adam Booth on this pod. Other than that, that's
and
my
you're
favorite.
and you're jealous.
I'm jealous.
Jot this one down, Adam.
Yes.
On the pod, we need a segment: top 5 Union Gifs of all time.
Yes.
Oh.
We'll get to
Yeah,
that.
we
we'll,
get
we'll
that.
do that. We'll do that.
Oh, you know what? We should do a Twitter poll.
Yes.
So we can get to
Ooh,
like the
that is a good
97.5
one.
Twitter
All right.
poll of the best.
All right, go
GIF
check
ever.
the Sons of Ben
Yeah.
Sons of Ben Pod Twitter now. 'Cause by the
No,
time this
no,
is
not
out,
now. Like
Not now.
Yeah, even,
Yeah, now that
Adam's-
it's been up for
Yeah, now
48
that the pod
hours,
is out,
this poll.
go check now.
Adam's got some more coverage.
Should we only launch the poll when you launch the pod, or
That-
should we do it
you know,
ahead
this
of
is a
time to have
good
people
point.
like? I want to do it as like a sneak preview. Like we just put out
we
random
put it out now.
polls,
Yeah,
and then they just
yeah,
like we have
yeah,
no
yeah.
idea what this is about. I
Type
can't wait
it
to
up now,
listen.
yeah.
Do it.
But
Do it.
so and the other great was not to borrow from our favorite little show on Apple Plus, but Nate the Great, our Nate Harrell, friend of the pod, has been on. What a performance my man has had.
I have not seen 1 second of Ted Lasso.
Well, you should know that Nate's
know.
great. How about that?
I've heard.
So you need to-
I've heard most of like the things. Like,
things about
you know,
like yeah,
like
spoilers. No
Roy.
spoilers. No.
I have no spoilers. I
Nope.
know nothing about.
Nope.
I've actually done a very good job of knowing nothing about the plot, but only knowing everything about like all of the pop culture references that are now because of it. But
But I tell you what,
Dude's great.
Cam Cole is coming to Philadelphia. No, is he coming to Philadelphia? I think he's coming to Philadelphia.
that means nothing to me.
Oh, you got to get on that.
That means nothing to me.
Spotify, buddy. Cam Cole. But Nate, what a he ain't giving up that job.
No, I mean, look, when I talked to my buddies at the academy, they were telling me that this dude, there was a reason why they went for him in the first place. There's a reason why they got him. They picked him up. They were like, this is a real deal.
Sorry, Orlando, not sorry.
No, I mean, and look, and it's something where this goes to the fact that, and it's actually something, and I'll mention this, I'll go back to when I was in Austin last week, and we were actually having non-video game discussions, but actually discussions about the MLS product on the field. And when we were talking, they were like a lot of the other
So
people.
wait, you went to a video game convention and
Yes.
talked about real sports and girls? Whoa.
All right, most people there were girls. I don't know what to tell you about this. Like, I like how you believe that basically every EMLS tournament is like a Magic the Gathering conference from 1988, but that's fine. I'm here.
I
for
also
it.
think Ultimate Frisbee is the same thing. So don't just
It's a varsity sport.
Don't just
You can
don't
letter
you
in
pigeonhole
it.
my
They
prejudice.
give you jackets
Don't you
for it.
dare pigeonhole my prejudice.
They
against
give
these
you
things.
jackets for it. I'm just saying. You could get you can get a Letterman jacket for
You
Ultimate
get a
Frisbee.
binky with your nice.
Look, man, don't knock it till you play it. I bet you can't play it. I bet you can't play
Oh.
it. I bet you can't play
Wait,
it.
I have to throw something, stand still, don't have to move. I can do that.
You mean run 110 yards in an open
Got it.
field and dive
Got
for a
it. We're
frisbee? I
going.
guarantee you
Oh,
couldn't.
Johnny Good Times. Call me up.
Johnny, if you're listening to the podcast, we already have another halftime event. Is watching
Johnny,
Matt
why aren't
die
you
on
listening to the
field. I'm
podcast?
gonna take you through
Good
one of the
God.
drills. You're going to die. Anyway. What the hell were we talking about anyway? Devin, be a producer.
Nate
Tell me
being
what I was
great.
doing.
We're talking about Nate being great.
All right.
Adam's
Look,
just
there's-
off the rails, Devin. Just
Look.
you gotta
I'm
get on
working-
him like a
I'm
Clydesdale.
working
and, like,
too
Listen,
many jobs.
He was already in the lot when we got here, so I'm kind of concerned. How long has Adam been sitting in his car outside the stadium?
long
Can we-
enough.
Over under 2 hours? Can
Long
we-
enough to contemplate getting Jamaican food twice.
Yeah.
That's only that long. But no, but all right. So ultimately, again, they brought him in for a reason. The kid is size, speed, perfectly. Like, if you're trying to build a right back in the modern era, you're building him. You're piecing him together, and he's playing with zero fear. Like, I was at the Sixers game last night, not to date this pod, but this was the Sixers game versus the Miami Heat. Tyrese Maxey is 21 years old, but he played like he was 32. And it's the same thing I'm seeing with Harrell here. He's playing against some of the best players in MLS. I mean, besides Montreal, that's kind of a terrible team. But like, he went up against a Champions League semifinal squad virtually at complete full strength and put him in the back pocket. He set up a goal, saved a goal.
Oh yeah,
You
that
know?
header might have been the second best defensive play I've seen by a non-Andre Blake in the Union, and the first is going to be Wooten.
Oh, yeah.
With that save, but that
It was the greatest moment of his
and
entire
here's
career.
the thing: we knew Nate was going to be we were told he's going to be a very solid right back. I didn't know about the way he was delivering assists. He's got 2 already.
Yeah.
He's played 3 games, 2 assists. And that was the Mbaizo, like, this is the anti-Ray. Mbaizo is going to create opportunities that Ray never could, and he did. And he did.
He did. He
But-
just can't
but
play as
Nate's
well as
doing-
defense.
Both. He's
Yeah.
doing both. And like you said, he's got a little bit of the size. I know they list him at like 6 foot, 6'1".
I mean, for soccer, that's
Not really.
giant.
Yeah.
Like that soccer, that's a
not
big
that tall.
dude.
But I mean, the kid is everything more than what I thought he was going to be. So
But you gotta think, when they let go of Powell so easily, and they were like, you go,
Well, yeah.
they were only had one right back at the time with any amount of experience on the roster, and it was in Bizo.
it's the one thing I do love about our front office is that they do not Jim Tomey anyone.
I mean, that's tough because when like Jim Tomey was literally like the irony of the Jim Tomey situation. This is like 2-second digress. I'll do.
Yeah.
Jim Tomey brought the Phillies back.
Right.
Right. Like the Phillies were so sorry right before Jim Tomey showed up that Jim Tomey's sheer presence made them a viable franchise, which cascaded into all of the.
But
which
after the
happened.
first year of Citizens Bank Park,
Yes.
they could have gotten rid of him.
They
and
could
let
have.
Ryan Howard eat.
They could,
and the Union are not
it would have
making.
been but you would have lost the ticket value.
Well, not if Ryan Howard's hitting 45.
No, but like at first you would have lost the gate.
Yeah.
Like they would have
Yeah.
been like it's like a couple of weeks.
I'm just
they would've
giving.
taken it.
I'm going to give
It's a
credit.
devil's advocate
I'm going to
thing.
give credit to the Union for they're not doing that.
Yes.
They're letting the young kids
Both of these things can be.
get in. And speaking of young kids, happy belated birthday, Quinn Sullivan, 18.
Wow.
Can
Yeah.
you get tobacco products and porn now, or is that it?
No, it's
You can get-
21 now. I think for tobacco, right? I think they pushed
21.
that up to 21
So it's just
as well.
it's
Yeah.
just what porn and
Dying
lottery
for the
tickets.
country. You can go to
Hey,
war. Yeah.
yeah, and you can vote. Hey,
You can
Quinn,
vote?
congratulations.
Yeah.
That's great. You can vote, and your tax bracket probably just went up. So,
Yes.
happy
Yeah,
birthday,
yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Welcome to adulthood. It
Yeah.
sucks.
Man, I can't believe he's 18. Like he's
18.
just turning 18, and he's been like involved with the union the past year or two. And like,
Chris Albright, keep your hands off him.
oh,
No,
man.
like I actually think so I think about this sometimes. Like when I play FIFA and I move on to a new team and I'm like, some of the guys I groomed at the previous team I was at, I'd love to bring them with me, just so I don't have to worry about position depth or anything. I'm sure Albright's just like, can I just get one more of them?
Now,
just
the,
one.
The last 2 points I had to watch this game on my laptop on good old ESPN Plus. So I couldn't get the Gamblers feed, so I couldn't get our radio. So
What is
I
it?
had
Is it Yes that broadcast them?
It was Yes
It's
that
Yes?
broadcast
Okay.
them, and they've got the quintessential British guy and American guy doing the talk, and these guys, you could tell how biased they were, and that they could not believe how the Union were just without possession dominating this team. And
I mean, I couldn't either. We only had like 29% of possession. and we're
for me,
housing
it was
them.
highly entertaining to listen. I'm like, oh my
Housing.
God, especially the second half. They were besides themselves of how to craft their talk about how New York City was getting their ass kicked by the Union.
They really were.
It was great. And that's what caused me, and I'm going to encourage everyone out in Sons of Ben Podland. We need nicknames for our like podaholics or whatever we want to call them, like
The
podheads,
podaholics?
podheads,
I don't know if that's the one.
Podheads.
But
I'm embarrassed for you.
yeah, no, but I called into I was texting Brace the before and after on the Gambler, and then the next day I did call in 97.5 just because they were high on the Phillies and high on the Sixers, and I go, excuse me, did you see what happened? And I'll give Jamie and Tyler credit. They talked Union and they watched it and they saw it. So I'm going to tell everybody out there, like, maybe it's time for us to start calling up certain radio stations before and after games and kind of force the issue of them talking Union.
Do you want me to play you behind the curtain of radio?
No, I know it's play the hits. I got that.
No, but it's not even that. Here's the thing, though. If you want that to work, hit them with that late night. Not like late night, but like after Missinelli, the next hit.
Listen, there's
And then
if you're doing 97.5, I'm telling you,
you're never gonna get Mike. To do it.
you try to get Kincaid or you get the other shows. You do not get
Kincaid
Mike.
would.
Kincaid will, and the other shows, the Tyler Zulis and the weekends. But the weekends, Tyrone Johnson, he's a member. He'll talk.
Oh,
he does the
Ty
Saturdays.
Ty
So I'm thinking we might have to put a little push to talk to them.
And shout out to Coach Camille, who is my boss from way back in the day. He's 1,000% down with the U.
Eric's
So,
kid
yeah.
is in the pre-academy trying to make his rounds. So he's trying to get his kid to retire him.
I ever tell you that it was me and Jack Craighead. We were both interns at the same
my
time. in
God, they would
97.5.
hire anyone, wouldn't they?
Yes. The answer to your question was yes.
All right, let's get to the MLS news. So alumni updates. I only got Brendan Aronson updates. It's Brendan's bad knees right now. Like I don't know I haven't gotten. Have you guys seen any straight answer? Because I got he couldn't play in Salzburg, but he made the trip over. Do you have breaking news, Devin?
No, I mean I saw something that
Is it on
said
the
that
Discord?
it was an MCL injury and he was out 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
So maybe it was just a sprain. Luckily, that it wasn't something worse. So it sounds like the timeline's somewhere in that range, like a month or so.
But he made the trip to go to Mexico City. That's the weird thing.
mean,
Like if I've got a knee
it's
injury,
probably still a good experience for him to have with the team and to be around that culture and whatnot.
If I'm Salzburg, I'm like, no, you're not getting on a plane with a knee. So that's why I didn't think the knee was that big of a deal. Let's talk. We've got this Thursday. We're taking on Mexico. How are we feeling, guys? I mean, it's
So Matt Doyle on Twitter said that we should rotate the squad and play the secondary kids against Mexico and Azteca, and I 100% agree.
okay.
I don't think this game matters. You only need 4 points.
We need
to
4
qualify.
points out of
Yeah.
3 games, right?
Yeah. So what is the thing that happens with the U.S. team every single one of these cycles, right? They win the first game. It's dramatic. It's great. They lay an egg in the second game because they're rotating out. And then the third game is always like fucking shit and bricks.
And have they ever won at Azteca? I don't think they have.
Once, I think. They might be wrong, but I think we won once at Azteca.
And here's the thing with this window. I'll just give you this. 4 points out of this window, and there's a 98% chance that they qualify for the World Cup. So
And if you get
you need
5,
4
that's a
points out of
fucking
3
wreck.
games.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
need
what I'm saying.
to?
So I'm saying, like, why stress yourself out with the Azteca situation? Because it's going to be easily the most difficult game. And it's not that your secondary team can't give them hell. You won a Gold Cup against them with a secondary team.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible to get the dub there.
And
but
Mexico's not in great shape right now. They've
No.
got some injuries. So
I'm saying, why risk the altitude, the Mexico football shenanigans, all the things in between with your top squad, as well just put Jazzy's Arties out there.
Because
Just let them get,
Greg.
just-
because
Greg.
it's Mexico and because you're going away to Costa Rica and who knows what can happen.
But that's
there.
what I'm saying. Like, but I would rather have Pulisic and all of them healthy for Costa Rica than have them draw in Mexico and get the asses
Listen,
beat.
who's the better team? Mexico?
Fair
Canada.
enough. Yeah.
I mean, it's Canada and the U.S., but it's like, who do you think you're gonna? But
That's what I'm saying. If you believe you're that much better than Mexico, put the B squad out. You probably can still win.
yeah.
Like it's
Well,
not
listen,
like
you get a
still gotta
draw.
Play Stefan.
You get a draw, and you're happy.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
need.
Oh, yeah.
You do not need that.
You don't
win.
want to play for a draw.
You
but
want
you
to
get
like,
a draw.
This is not a pride thing at this point. You already got the bragging rights on Mexico. You beat them in the last 3 games. You beat them in 2 of them for bleeping titles. You're right now the rooster in that particular rivalry.
Need Greg to get this done. I don't want. I want to stop
And that's
sweating.
Look,
about this.
my girlfriend right now has to watch on Thursday a game where Italy plays North Macedonia.
Enjoy that, GGO. GGO's going out there for that.
Well, yeah, and you know where it is? Palermo.
Palermo.
Because you know why? They're so afraid of failure in Rome, they moved it to Palermo.
Yeah.
That is the pressure the Italians are facing.
Well, I don't want to be under that pressure. We're the U.S. of A.
Then take it off of you and make sure your team is ready to boat race the hell out of Costa Rica, as opposed to send in a wounded squad that just sucked in the air of
who's not
Mexico
worried?
City.
The Canadians aren't worried right now.
Because they're going to. Are they qualified yet? What do they have to do?
No,
A
but
point?
they will be.
What
I
do they
think
like a point?
Point, yeah.
Okay, like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they have to breathe, and they're going to go.
Now,
to,
you know who's
to
not
Qatar.
worried? The U20s.
Oh yeah, they're good
Do you want to know why they don't worry?
because they got 4 Union players.
They got the Fab Four, man. It's like the boy band. It's unbelievable.
Shout out to Jack.
Yeah.
Look at him. I missed him.
God, yeah.
I hope he's enjoying the hell out of that mediocre ass city of Venice.
Yes. Yeah. I know.
It's such a mediocre.
I like that town. It's romantic.
Look, romantic as bleep. I just remember Aquafina bottles in the canal. That's all I remember. Look, I love Florence.
Some of us look on the positive side. Some of us look at Aquafina bottles in the river.
Florence,
You know?
beautiful. Rome, Naples, Palermo, Catania, Cuomo, Bologna, beautiful. Venice, don't need it. Venezia,
St. Mark's
don't need
Square, gorgeous.
it. It's okay.
Oh, solo mio. Oh, so.
Seven, wrap it up, please.
No,
before that
that's
goes.
Now, speaking of
Bring
this
it
pod
in for
going
a
downhill,
landing.
Adam, do you have any? I mean, EMLS, is that wrapped up? Do we've
We're
got,
done.
We've got some. Are we in spring training?
We're
are
done.
we in winter break? We in international? Like,
It's a little frustrating.
how are you making your money right now if you don't have
I'm
a third
not.
job?
I'm not. I'm actually waiting for that paycheck from Austin. I'm not even sure technically when I was technically streaming, when I wasn't. So we'll figure that out. I'm sure my representatives will talk to me. Shout out to Curtis. Anyway, legitimately, we're done for now. We are doing some stuff on the side though. Like on the 27th, we have a electronic gaming league tournament for Warzone and Call of Duty. I've already convinced Devin to join me on my team.
I've been recruited.
He's been
heavily.
recruited. Me and Serge are playing on opposite teams, so we could diversify the player prowess. We didn't want to like overwhelm you guys with this this awesomeness.
Oh, man.
So we've separated squads, but like
Man, it's
we're gonna be fun.
biting my goddamn tongue on this.
Look,
I'm waiting for
I
the-
asked Matt.
I'm waiting for the Matt comment to come in here,
Yeah,
and
I
it just
know.
wasn't coming in. It
Look, I
was-
I asked Matt to come in, and he was just like, "If it's not Centipede, I ain't got nothing to
I
do
was
with
ready
it."
to play, but y'all don't respect the Switch. I only got the Switch. Sorry.
Sweetie,
Come
you
on.
don't have the Switch. TC has
Yes,
the Switch.
TC 's
Name
got
a
the
Switch
Switch.
game. What game she
Mario
got?
Kart.
That's all right. That's okay.
Everyone
Fair,
likes Mario Kart.
fair,
Let's be
fair.
It doesn't
Name another
come with
one.
it. I thought it came with it.
No, it should.
It should. It really should.
So,
Yeah.
any other ones?
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
no
do you
idea.
another-
That's it,
exactly.
all right.
Yeah, that's it.
No clue.
So you're not playing with her, TC. You need to bring intimacy back into your life and start
Yeah.
playing some Mario Kart together. What are we doing here?
That's what we need.
That's what you need.
That'll be the big night tomorrow, guys. Woo!
Look,
Mario Kart, some wine.
Look,
Woo!
you've never
Crazy.
lived until you've passed the controller with, a nice bottle of wine and playing some Resident Evil 2. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying. It builds character.
Can't wait. I'm so happy none of us are procreating.
But yeah, no. Ultimately, we're done for now. It's we have the tournament coming up on the 27th. It'd be really cool if anybody wants to sign up for us. And we're gonna have some stuff. We're gonna have a couple of fan events. We're gonna have some streams where Serge is gonna get on, challenge. Whoever wants it. And
we
I'm
gotta
gonna
get Serge on the pod.
Whenever Serge wants to come, he's a busy man. He's a busy man. And
I'm thinking
now
what
he's a
we
rock
need
star
What
too.
we need to do is get Serge versus like 3 people while we're potting, and then he can comment while he's whooping someone's ass.
We keep talking about having a live pod, and I think we need to have one. We talked about a tailgate, or maybe we'll have it like 2SP. We'll set up like a PlayStation in the background, and Serge can
But I want him to play like Jim Curtin, Danny
Yeah.
Higginbottom, and Fang at the same time.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this right now, and Jim might still play video games. I don't think he has the time for it, but he might.
He's got kids. He probably has to balance the kids.
But
You know what? We'll take a Curtin child and
Jim
to
might
play for them.
we can get Casey's
He can coach the kid.
We
Yeah.
can get Casey's kid. For
No,
sure.
Casey's kid will whoop someone's ass.
It will. Duelsta. Where's Duelsta? Actually, I
Forget that kid.
I will say this: Duelsta kind of avoided me and Mills the entire trip. I think he saw our union gear.
Coward.
He didn't want to. He didn't say hi. He didn't come over. He didn't do anything. I was a little disappointed in that.
Now we're going to speak about bravery right now. We're going to talk Premier League, and we're going to talk about those champions of truth and justice, that Chelsea football squad,
Oh my god.
fighting through adversity.
Oh my god.
Here's the one thing I'm most upset about. Did you see last Friday the bids came in?
Yeah.
One of the biggest weasels in the world put a bid in, and it actually was a solid bid.
Woody Johnson.
Oh, see, now Woody Johnson worries me more than this. Harris Blitzer Group. The Sixers owners
Why not?
put in a solid bid,
It sounded. Yeah, I did see that. It's not a bad bid.
and they got to sell their 30% of Crystal Palace or whatever.
I think they'll be okay.
I'm like, what have you done with Crystal Palace that makes me feel that I'm confident you're going to take Chelsea Football Club to another level, except that's basement.
Look, Chelsea Football Club runs itself. You just need money.
Yeah, those guys don't really give money. So
No, but I mean, but
Yeah.
at this point, look, we just need an owner. They're not going to survive by themselves. And once
no.
once Chelsea starts to become a middle of the road club again, they'll be like, someone else helps us in this ownership group, and then they'll be back.
But I give Tommy T all the credit in the world. I think he's done the greatest job any coach could do, because
Absolutely.
since all this is happening, they've been getting W's. Now, the most interesting part of the Premier League lies with Devon. And it's not just Tottenham, because we know Tottenham's done some things. Now, how mad are you at Richard for being at
man.
the greatest Tottenham game?
Man, he doesn't even invite me. Jeez.
Didn't even
What-
invite
what is
Richard
it?
Leibovich, not inviting. Devon's got a passport. He can get through customs.
Devon's
Come
got a
on, man.
passport.
But yeah, he sees your boy's son. Like he's on fire.
Oh my
Your
lord!
defense is terrified.
What a team! And I'm excited.
Well,
They're
I
up to
want to go
fifth-
on a team.
They're up to
but-
5th place, and
Yeah.
and the additions they made recently have helped them a ton. So it's been great, and they're only 3 points behind Arsenal in 4th place. So we're climbing up. We're Chelsea's in 3rd, so we're eyeing
Okay.
them in there a
Sweetie.
little bit.
And the race you're really looking at. Tell the truth. Brentford versus
Brentford's-
Leeds.
Yeah. Brentford up to 15th now, so and they got a little cushion there. So I'm feeling pretty decent that they're gonna stay.
I just
home,
hope
so.
you get a really nice return stay and discount at the Europa Motel. I think for return
It
residents,
would be an upgrade over what we had this year,
No,
so that's fine.
Right now you're be at like the CBI of whatever
So
the Premier League
I gotta
is.
say, as entertaining as the MLS has been, especially with us top of the table, supporter shield in the lead, Premier League is giving us some drama. That is
No, it hasn't.
there's some drama. There's a
Manchester
1 and
City's
2.
going to win the title.
Well, now Liverpool's battling them,
Manchester
and then
City's
the,
going to win the
Are
title.
they?
and the
they?
relegation race is real.
The relegation race is the only thing that's interesting
Yeah.
right now about
and
the
then
Premier
there's
League.
drama with Chelsea.
No, you know
so
what the
there's-
you know what the thing is
there's
interesting is
drama.
I want to see if West Ham makes the Champions League. That's the only thing I care about. I want West
Yeah.
Ham to get the last fourth spot. I want them to hop.
Well, they
over.
gotta take care of people like Tottenham, which they couldn't do.
I mean, who can't beat
Unbelievable.
Tottenham these days?
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently,
So-
Tottenham's like this invincible squad. All of a sudden, they're just like,
Yeah.
hey, we can actually play soccer again. Like all of this immense talent we've had. All we have to do is trade Dele Alli away. We're fucking great now.
Unbelievable. So, ladies and gentlemen, Devin, did we miss anything? We hit clicked all the boxes. We got it under an hour.
Oh,
That is beautiful.
So you don't want to do a fusion minute?
Ladies and gentlemen, this was episode Reggie White. We'll do the Union Minute next week. Don't worry. We'll
Rick
get
Tockett.
all the. This is Reggie White, Minister of Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, aloha Felicia.
Wash your hands, please.